hearing, which is to introduce the capital improvement program, its members, and the process that we will undergo in the following months. Next slide, please. Whoa.
I'm sorry, my screen's not working. Hang on, I'm gonna just put the slides. The only thing I can do right now is this version, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Okay,
I'll just keep going.
okay.
Thank you. As I said, the agenda for tonight is to introduce this year's committee members, the public process that we will go through to discuss and better understand the requested capital projects. We'll look at the plan for current and future requests, as well as bonding projects and future funding sources. Finally, we'll post the future meeting schedule for CIP with the hope that our community will stay interested and involved in the process. Thank you. So the committee is comprised of 2 members of each major board in town. If I can, I'm going to ask everybody to raise their hand and maybe say hello, so that the speaker will catch you, and maybe folks can put a name to your face. So Justin Murphy is a Board of Finance representative.
Hi, Justin Murphy, Board of Finance.
Oh,
Thanks,
see,
Katie.
you popped up. I am Katie Stein. Al Goldberg.
Good evening.
Thank you, Al. Noreen Kokaruta is the Board of Selectmen, as is Al. Representative.
Good evening, all.
Thank you, Noreen. Galen Colley is my vice chair and one of our Board of Ed representatives.
Hi, Katie. This is Galen. Thanks.
Hi, Galen. Emily Rosenthal is his counterpart for the Board of Education.
Hey, everyone.
Hi, Emily. Our Board of Finance public member hasn't been filled in here, but I'm very happy to say that Laura Downs has agreed to represent the public on behalf of the Board of Finance. Laura.
Hello.
Welcome and thank you for serving.
Thank you.
Gus Horvath is the Board of Selectmen, much disputed and fought over representative for the Board of Selectmen. Is he on tonight? Maybe not. And Joan Walker is the Board of Education public representative.
Hi, everyone.
Thank you, Joan. I would be remiss without acknowledging the tireless efforts of Stacy Novitz, who's our Director of Finance, and Kristen Bartosik, the Supervisor of Accounting Management for the town, who have been, and I'm no doubt will continue to be, invaluable with their knowledge and expertise. So thank you both and all for your service to this committee. So the next slide goes over the CIP process, which started way back at the beginning of the fiscal year in July, where requests were submitted to the finance department. And Stacy and Kristen worked to develop a draft for review by our first select woman and the Board of Select people. That draft was acknowledged by our first select woman, and she has written a letter discussing the projects and the scope of the projects in a letter to the CIP committee. And here we are at item number 3. The CIP committee will begin to review the projects and have multiple public meetings to look at them in greater detail. Then we will submit our recommended capital improvement projects to the Board of Selectmen and the Board of Finance, where they will review and submit to the Board of Finance. That will also result in a public meeting where the Board of Finance will submit the final CIP approved projects. And then You, the public, will have an opportunity to look at that, and it will be included in the May budget referendum. Next slide. And I talk fast when I'm nervous, so please feel free to slow me down. So this public hearing is an opportunity to notify the public that these meetings are beginning to take place and ask you to be involved. We request your input. We value your input and your participation in all of our public meetings. There will be opportunity for public comment, and we hope that you will continue to be engaged and increase your knowledge about some of these wonderful initiatives that are happening within our town. Our second public hearing, just a quick plug, is January 25th, and that is after a lot of our town departments will come to before the committee to present their projects. If you have any comments, the email is both here and will be at the end of this presentation. Please feel free to email myself or any committee member or all committee members to share your thoughts. They, as I said, are valued and important. And then please continue to attend public hearings and budget workshops that will be held starting in January, I think as early as January. And then, of course, the resulting in the referendum in May. Next slide, please. Okay. So this slide, as Noreen pointed out, is very small, but is available on the website. And so I encourage you to come look at it in more detail. But this slide represents the total to be spent for 5 years by department and also how we are going to pay for them. So for example, by grants, the American Rescue Plan, donations, and capital project fund balances, as well as pay-as-you-go. This year is a little more interesting than usual, given that we do have some federal dollars coming in from the American Rescue Plan, and even potentially federal dollars coming from the Build Back Better initiative that was recently passed. More information will follow on that. If the budget passes at referendum, the first year will be considered approved projects and will be represented in the May referendum. Years 2 to 5 are really guiding lights for us as a committee. They are planning, they're there for planning purposes. And obviously we hope that those years will continue to follow. But as we all know and have learned over the past couple of years, things happen and things may need to be adjusted. Projects, as I said, that are included could be paid for American Rescue Plans. And that has a newly established committee set up by the Board of Selectmen to look at how those monies are spent. The bonding projects are excluded from this page as they require a whole separate referendum question and vote. The following projects included above are wholly or partially funded by grant monies. And those projects include the West Wharf Dock System, the Route 79 Concord Meadows to Route 1 Walkway, the Garvin Point Bulkhead Rehab, and that is in year 22-23. And then moving out in outer years, the potential emergency shelter generator, which we will share 50% of the cost with the Board of Education. And in 24-25, the potential, the remainder of the generator cost. Oh, and then following in 25-26, the dog park. Much anticipated dog park. Next slide. So this slide is probably the most important slide in the deck. It represents the annual capital budget that the community will vote on in May and represents tax, and budget implications. The attempt of this committee and the finance department will be to review the projects submitted and keep this number as level as possible throughout the 5 years to avoid major tax increases. It's important to note that over the past few years, we've been able to keep this relatively flat. And then this is the CIP meeting schedule, which I am requesting that we get as many participants to attend and participate in as possible from our community. We're very grateful to our community members, Laura and Gus and Joan, for being representatives, but we hope that we will have other community participation as well. All of our meetings will be publicly held on Zoom, and those links will be listed on the town website. And we hope that you will join us for those. And then if you would like to see more information, including the meeting schedule and links for those, the website is below. And the minutes from those meetings will also be included on that website. So I talked extraordinarily fast. And again, I apologize. I do that when I'm nervous. But if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask our committee, including our vice chair, who I'm sure will answer every question that you have.
Katie, you
Any-
talked at just the right speed. You weren't fast at all. So that's my comment. Not at all. I understood every word.
Thank you, Emily. Super kind. I only see 2 members of the public in our attendance. Raquel, do you have any hands raised that I'm missing?
No, none at the moment. No.
Okay. Any comments from the committee or our community representatives? Laura, it's so good to see you here. I know that you were not at our first meeting, but I'm so grateful to you for being here.
Happy to be here. Thank you. Looking
Sure.
forward to learning from you guys. So.
And you. Okay, so hearing none, I would like to say this is record time. Can we adjourn? Okay. Thank you, everyone. I look
Thank you.
forward to seeing you Thursday morning.
8 a.m. Thank you.
See you then. Good night.
Good night, everyone.